You ever feel like you're just constantly chasing money, but never really catching up? Well, today we're going to dig into a really simple but powerful idea that just flips that whole way of thinking on its head. So let's get into it and uncover a fundamental truth about how wealth is actually created.
All right, first up, we've got to talk about the way most people think about earning a living. We can call it the hunt for money. It's kind of the default setting for so many of us, but as we're about to see, it might just be the very thing that's holding you back.
So let's just start with the big one, right? The question that's probably on everyone's mind at some point or another. How do you actually become wealthy? I mean, really think about it for a second. What's the first thing that pops into your head? For a lot of people, it's a very specific and very, very common answer.
And there it is. The conventional wisdom, the thing we're all told, is that you get wealthy by chasing money. Find the highest paying job, hunt for that next promotion, relentlessly go after financial gain as the main goal. It sounds totally logical, right? But more often than not, it just leads to burnout and frustration. It's kind of like running on a hamster wheel.
Okay, so now let's get to the big shift in thinking. This is where we're going to leave that old model behind and look at income through a completely different lens. And it's all about what we'll call the principle of problem solving. And here it is, the core idea for this entire explainer. It completely reverses the old way of thinking. See, money isn't the target, it's the result. It's just a byproduct of doing something valuable for other people. Income flows to you when you solve someone else's problem.
Now, the official term for this is value creation. This is the engine of income. It's the simple act of solving a problem or filling a need for somebody else. The more value you create for the world, the more income potential you unlock. It's really that direct of an exchange. Okay, I know. Creating value can sound a little fuzzy, a little abstract, but the great thing is our source material breaks it all down into a super simple, practical formula. This isn't magic, it's based on two really clear variables that anyone can understand and start using. And here they are, the two things that determine how much value you're creating. First, how big is the problem you're trying to solve? And second, how efficient is your solution? So let's break down what each of those really means.
This just illustrates that first variable perfectly. I mean, think about it, right? Fixing a leaky faucet. That's helpful, sure, but it only affects one household, so the value is pretty limited. But what about solving a water shortage for an entire city? Now you're impacting thousands, maybe millions of people. The sheer size of the problem directly sets the potential for how much value you can create. And now for that second piece of the puzzle, efficiency. Because it's not just that you solve a problem, it's how you solve it. Think about the difference between, say, renting a movie from Blockbuster back in the day versus just streaming it instantly on Netflix. They both solve the I want to watch a movie problem, but one is just way, way more efficient. Is your solution faster? Is it easier for people? The more efficient it is, the more valuable it becomes.
So, how does all this come together for you? Look, this isn't just some abstract theory. It's a really practical framework. And it all boils down to one single, decisive question that you can ask yourself right now to completely reframe how you think about your work and your finances.
So this is the whole point. What big, annoying, nagging problem can you solve for other people? Instead of asking, how can I make more money? Start asking, what problem can I solve really, really well? I promise you, the answer to that second question is what leads you directly to the answer for the first one. At the end of the day, it's all about this simple but really profound shift in your focus. You have to stop focusing on what you can get and start focusing on what you can give. Just move your attention from earning to serving, from taking to creating. So the next time you're thinking about your career or maybe a new business idea, don't hunt for the money. Hunt for the problems. Because buried deep inside the biggest, nastiest problems are the biggest opportunities to create value. And when you do that, trust me, the money will find you.